dikkat edin ya.
Neymiş? Türkiye bizde gurur duymayacakmışız. Ulan soysuzlar. Ulan vatan hainleri. Siz görüyor musunuz lan benim Türkiye'mi nasıl yaşadığımı?
Well, hello there! Welcome to another video of mine, where I poorly summarize a corner of our beautiful world in a slightly sarcastic manner. Today's topic is the Caucasus, or as I would like to call it from now on, Caucasia, because I cannot say sus with a straight face. As the name implies, Caucasia is in Asia, kinda. It encompasses the region around the Caucasus Mountains, between the Caspian and the Black Sea, a place that is often seen as the border between Europe and Asia. This unique geographic location has created a very diverse ethnic composition. Its location between Europe and Asia has also strategic importance. That is why historically, Caucasia has been under the rule of foreign invaders, like for literally thousands of years, Persia. All 60 billion versions of Persia, who brought the first monotheistic religion to Caucasia, Zoroastrianism. It's this religion where they worship a birdman called Ahura Mazda, a name the Persians shamelessly stole from a Japanese car manufacturing company. Persia was not the only player here. The Romans started fighting the Persians for control of this place, later the Byzantines who brought Christianity, the Persians who switched from Zoroastrianism to Islam. Oh, would you look at that, the Turks showed up and they're feeling extra Roman today. Mongols would take a stroll around here and destroy everyone's stuff. Caucasia switches hands between the Ottomans and the Persians for a couple hundred years, until the Russian Empire shows up in the 19th century and takes the whole of Caucasia for themselves. Sharing is caring. But oh, what's that? The Russian Empire collapses. New countries pop up here, Georgia, Azerbaijan and Armenia. They unite to create Transcaucasia. Russians and Turks, being the haters that they were, would not allow this place to exist. Soviet times roll around, hundreds of thousands of people get sent to free, permanent vacations to Central Asia and Siberia. Incredibly memorable experience. Finally, USSR collapses, North Caucasus remains to Russia, South Caucasus becomes independent, and everybody lives happily ever after in peace, forever. As you can see, Caucasia has always been controlled by foreign powers, with very few exceptions, like Armenia, Georgia, Iberia, and Albania. Okay, but in all seriousness, this is a totally different Albania. It's got nothing to do with the Albania we all know and love, although it is related to one of the three Caucasian countries. He's right behind me, isn't he? Azerbaijan, the country located in what was Caucasian Albania by Turkish tribes who migrated here and got highly influenced by Iran. So they're a mix between Turks, Iranians and Caucasians. But they're mainly Turks. They are first cousins with Turkey. Like Turkey, they speak a very similar language, have had the same president for like 20 years and have sort of the same religion. Azerbaijan is the richest Caucasian country, at least in terms of GDP. Because of the shores of Baku, they have struck gold, liquid gold. That's where we're getting our gas from lately. This rare opportunity has allowed Azeris to build up a very modern capital city, while the rest of the country looks like shit, but that's beside the point. Also, this little piece of land here fully belongs to Azerbaijan, it's not a disputed territory. We will talk about those in a bit. It's called Nakhchivan. Nothing goes on here. Although to go to the rest of Azerbaijan where things do happen, you cannot go through Armenia because the borders are a bit closed. Nakhchivanis have to drive through Iran. Being forced to go to Iran sounds horrible, until you realize that more Azeris live in Iran than Azerbaijan. They live there on their own accord, believe it or not. Okay, disputed territory time. So there is this place in Azerbaijan called Nagorno-Karabakh. It used to be full of Armenians, who called it Artsakh, and they did their own thing. I say used to, because something happened recently, and as a result, there are not as many Armenians here anymore. Yep, that's all I have to say. Moving on to Armenia, the very first Christian country, having adopted Christianity back in 300 AD. They even have their own church, and they won't shut the fuck up about it. This country is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Or better yet, a hate triangle, between Azerbaijan for the reasons we just mentioned, and Turkey. So, around the time of World War I, the Ottoman Empire was falling off, like falling off. That brother was on his deathbed. This situation culminated in the Young Turk movement, led by the Young Turks, wanted to establish a new constitution and a new country basically. I guess they also wanted this country to be more ethnically homogeneous. I say this because something may have happened to the millions of Armenians that lived in Anatolia. The internet has told me that nothing happened, but if something happened, they deserved it. As a result, Armenia is much smaller than it could have potentially been. I guess. I mean, their symbol, Mount Ararat, the place that Noah's Ark allegedly landed, is in Turkey, not Armenia. I guess for revenge, Armenians stole Turkish food, but that's another story. To lighten up the mood, here's some fun facts about Armenians. They speak enchantment table, their surnames end with Yan, and an Armenian invented the ice cream corn rolling machine. Wow, thank you Armenia, I love ice cream! Okay, moving on to Georgia. Georgians are very cool people. Yes, even that guy that robbed my neighbor. They love cheese and wine. They speak Elvish. They have a really cool flag. They had a really awesome kingdom during the Georgian Golden Age. A kingdom that reached its peak during the reign of Queen Tamar, whom they called king, until Timur Lane came here with his diseases and ruined Georgia. And then Georgia retaliated by creating Stalin and Erdogan. Yes, Erdogan is Georgian. Georgia, you have my deepest gratitude. All of this cool stuff just to be overshadowed by an American state. Unlike Armenia, Georgia doesn't have any beef with Turkey and Azerbaijan. They got beef with someone 10 times worse though. In 2008, Russia entered Georgia without asking, as they do, and helped the Abkhazians and the Ossetians gain their own country inside of Georgia, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, two de facto independent countries as they have a very limited international recognition. Wow, what a weird group. Like I get it from these four, but now, as you can imagine, this peculiar situation has created a bit of tension between Russia and Georgia, with the Georgian people being very pro-EU and NATO, while the government not so much. Georgia is going through some political shenanigans lately. A really controversial law was voted in the parliament. In addition, the newly elected president is considered illegitimate. Here is some interesting lore for you. He was a football player who used to play for Manchester City before the oil money came. That, my friends, was the South Caucasus countries. Three nations sandwiched between the Greater and the Lesser Caucasus Mountains. But that's not all our beautiful Caucasia has to offer. We also have the beautiful Russian republics of the North Caucasus. They are full of Caucasians. No, not this kind of Caucasians, stupid American. These Caucasians. Oh, there's quite a few of them. The bear fuckers. This place solely exists to supply the UFC with bearded fighters. The naughty one. They had 2 wars of independence against Russia. During the second one, this guy made a deal with the Russian government, essentially double-crossing Chechnya to become its supreme leader. Then he got assassinated, then his son took over, who posted this shit online. Basically what people think Bosnia is. Oh, North Ossetia. It's north of South Ossetia. Who would have guessed? What a silly name. Has the highest peak in all of Europe, Mount Elbrus. It is quite mountainous. Ooh, Black Sea coast. They've got a really long bridge here connecting to a place you may have heard of in the news. Ooh, an enclave, home of the few remaining Circassian people in Russia. Back in the day, the Russian Empire fought a war with Circassia over control of this region for about 101 years. And by the end of it, I guess the Russians were so sick of these guys that they exported most of them to the Ottoman Empire, which is why there are so many in Turkey today. Or to the afterlife. Wait, Rostov isn't even Caucasian, what the fuck are you doing here? Stavropol. This literally means cross city in Greek. The only Buddhist majority place in all of Europe. Well, that's the Caucasus, or Caucasia. A really interesting region, full of ethnic and religious diversity. A lot of people groups that absolutely cannot stand living next to each other. This place has seen a lot of wars and territorial disputes. A lot of foreign overlords as well, such as the Ottomans and the Persians. They were even commies at some point. These Caucasian lands are lovely. Vast mountains, absurd nationalism, and silly huts. They even got an Albania. Wait a fucking second.